Hey, it's Mark. I'm going to go through some charts here. I'm going to look at a few key sectors that I found some interesting things in, and I'll just talk about whatever I've been thinking about here this afternoon after the market closed. So let's start with one of the sectors that I've already got pulled up here is the shippers. So the shippers have been kind of sideways for a while, but today the DHT hit my momentum scan. I also just ran through my stock scans. So this one actually closed at or around the 52-week high here. It's up a good bit here the past couple months, and it looks really strong. Of course, we've got to make it above that high print 1190, but it looks like it's heading that way, and it's some pretty good momentum here. It keeps making higher lows, there and there. So, and this is kind of the standout one from the rest of my shippers that I track. So that one, and the fact that it hit the momentum scan too, is kind of interesting. So I've just been drinking a lot of water here, and I might sneeze again because the pollen is in season here in the south. I live in the southeast, and there's it starts like right in March. The pollen from the trees is like in the air, really thick. So that's I never used to have allergies to that, but apparently I might have this year. So that's one of the things about the South is there's a lot of trees and pollen in the air. So yeah, that was the only one standout in the shippers. And the uranium sector was another one that was interesting. And I think I heard that Goldman Sachs put out a note on uranium too today. But it's kind of interesting because even though the whole sector is still kind of messy, there was some good moves today, and especially NXE. The only standout from my watch list on the uranium was the NXE today. It actually closed at a new high, and looks like a multi-year high. And it's got a good chart going here. It's a lot of momentum. I mean, it's basically a little triangle there. As I look at it more, sometimes you have to look at a chart for minutes or like to see where the levels really converge and stuff. So yeah, that one's really nice. Like the more I look at it, it did have a bit of a triangle there too. So NXE just broke out of that little symmetrical triangle there, and good volume today too. And there's a high ranging day. It's had a lot of these high ranging days where there's a big intraday move. Like today, it was up 8.5% at the close. So the more it keeps doing that, and the fact that it did that here at the highs, tells me there could be even more volume coming in. Because it's had some really nice volume days. Look at these days here in January, February, March, and it just continues. So that's sort of my top pick from the uranium right now. And I didn't really see anything else that interesting. Oh yeah, DNN. Yeah, DNN's a good one too, because the DNN actually hit my momentum scan too. I ran a scan, my Momo scan, and the DNN hit that scan today too, and it had a level back here, and it just kind of congested, and held that level there, and then it's just moving again. And another good high ranging day on this one too. It was up 6% today, and it's had similar moves in the past. Pretty good volume today too, and this one looks really good too. The fact that it's holding, it's actually one of the more bullish looking charts out there, and it's super low priced. And this one, I used to notice it in the past, and I always thought it was a gold miner, because it would always run with gold too. And I guess uranium used to run at the same time, I guess. And I never used to track the uranium sector that much back then, but this one, yeah, this one can really run, and it's a big time runner from the past. It's one of the reasons I put it on my watch list too. I mean, even the past couple of years or so, it's gone up 100%. So, but I remember from back in the day, like even like back in the 2010s, you know, I guess it was back in that time after the 2008 panic, there was a huge commodities boom back in 2009 through, you know, for years, and this one was a runner back then. So yeah, you can see in the past it's had some good runs. Yeah, there's a 2010, what I was thinking of. Yeah, 2010, it went up like 300% or something like that. Man, it went from like $1 to $4. So yeah, this one likes to just keep running, you know, when it runs. You can see back in 2008 it got down to 50 cents and around 50 cents, and then was up to like $8 or $4 rather. So yeah, this one, I wouldn't be surprised if it looks like it's going to test the highs. So it's like 215. There's a level there at 215. So because it goes back to 2021 back here. So if we look at that level, it's roughly around 214, 215. So it looks like it's going to get there. You know, whether or not it takes it out, we'll see. But it's still got some nice trend support there, and so it's got the momentum. And obviously, it hit my momentum scan today too, so it's nice. So yeah, that's a good one too. I'm watching that one. And I put on a trade in one of the oil stocks because we've got energy going too. It's really just a commodities boom right now. You know, gold. So I was looking at the DBC. The DBC is actually, you know, making some highs here, and DBC's it's partially oil. I think the majority of it is oil, and then there's some metals, but it's all hard commodities. The soft commodities is the DBA, but the DBC is all the hard commodities, and it's not really good for just trading oil. But now that we've got gold going too and other commodities, you know, I think the DBC has more potential than it has in the past. Well, yeah, look at DBA. I didn't even notice this one. This one's going too. I didn't realize that. So I just happened to look at this one, and yeah, that's some crazy volume today. It's a lot of volume. It's got a similar volume to back in January, before the big run it had. So that's interesting. You know, maybe looks like this DBA is gonna continue, and yeah, we've had the commodities, a lot of them been going. So I mean, this one's already up a good bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if it has some more days. But I was just looking at this BTE. It's mostly just a technical play. So let's go to my energy sector here. So I'll look at some tech stocks in a minute, but there's just a lot of other stuff going too with momentum now. So I'm looking at those. Yeah, the BTE. So it found a lot of support back from last year. It had a lot of support there at around $3 a share. If you can see this line here at the bottom. So yeah, $3 a share was the floor back in 23, and then this year it continued to hold the $3 roughly, you know, there again, and it's just been kind of range bound. And so this is a clear range right here where I've got these lines. So it looks like it's poised to test that resistance here. So expecting that, and with the momentum, I put on some calls like months out, and think it was August, is really far out. Some calls, $5 calls. So that was pretty kind of speculative, but I just think, you know, if this move continues in commodities, you know, it could easily get there because it's been pretty down and held those levels so far. So, you know, it was a $7 stock back in a couple of years ago. So that's that one, and I think that's about it. That as far as the sectors go, so let's look at the Apple, because I found some interesting things with Apple, how it's trading. So Apple is, I found this down channel that's in, and it's been respecting these down channel lines really well. So it did it again. It couldn't get past that line, that blue line there. So we're back in the channel, and I think it's easily going to go to this next level, which is like 166, 165. So I do have some puts that I bought far out of the money, and it just looks like this has more downside, you know, just the way that the chart's going with the technicals here. But these levels have been it's been pretty spot on so far, these channel lines. It's kind of like the Tesla was trading in a really obvious down channel too, and it's in the middle of it right now, so it really could go either way. But you know, it's still biased to the short side as long as it's in this down channel. So it tried and failed back in December to get some momentum, but you know, it's still trending down, so the momentum is down. So I expect it to continue that way until it changes, you know. So that's how I look at Tesla now too. And yeah, that's about it that I wanted to cover. The Nasdaq's still pretty sideways here. I mean, it's holding up pretty well here at the highs, so that's bullish. You know, if it can, when price congests and continues to hover around an area, that means the price is pretty comfortable there, so to speak. So the buyers are comfortable buying there, and it's more likely to continue to break out if it's congested, you know. So it looks, yeah, this looks like a flag at the moment, and I mean, there's really some opportunities in some of these tech stocks, you know, like Meta here is at this inflection point with the support there. So it looks like it held, you know, and if we go just a little bit higher tomorrow, you know, that's that down channel break right there, because it held this support at like about 481 really good. But the other way I was looking at it too is it's almost like I saw this is like a channel level there, so it did lose momentum a little bit off that channel break. But like, as I've been saying for like a week or two now, I think these tech stocks are going to go sideways just based on what the charts are doing. Like Nvidia, it's in a range now. It's going sideways, so I think it's probably going to bounce around 825, 840 to the highs. You know, because I've seen this is the way the Nasdaq's going, and a lot of other tech stocks. I mean, Microsoft's sideways too, kind of trading with the Nasdaq. So it's not really. So we're still waiting for some kind of you know, momentum to come in. And yeah, oil continues. So yeah, oil is really strong still, like a lot of commodities. I think I had some shorts that I found. Yeah, the JZXN. This one's a China name, and if you look at the long-term chart, it hasn't done anything since the IPO or whatever, since it listed. So looks like when it listed, it went from 843 to 300 in a day, unless that's like a split, but that's, yeah, I mean, but basically this stock hasn't done anything. It's just gone down, really. So it's trying to, yeah, if you look at the spike, every time it spikes up, it just sells off, and it hasn't done anything, you know. So my hunch is what's happening here is there's just some temporary volumes coming in. So I expect this one to sell off again, like it has too. So I didn't see any interesting news, but yeah, these China ones, you can't trust them to continue to hold, and it can keep going for a while. You know, it could go to $10, you know, but eventually it's gonna unwind and be a really good short, I think. So, and all these other ones I've been really short biased on too. They're just still coming down, like JMIA and SHOT and BBAI. BBAI's right, it's actually breaking down again. And that one was kind of obvious, you know, the short side too. It's just the relative performance has been really weak. And there's one more stock I want to talk about, is the KPTI. This one I noticed the chart, and it's a really nice big triangle here. It's just a really good trend support line it's holding. It's still acting well off of, and you know, it's got these obvious top levels there. Like 170 has been the top, so you know, it may keep going sideways, you know, until it decides what it's going to do off of this triangle. But I mean, it could go soon, but my hunch is it's going to just continue to complete the triangle. And they had some big volume came in February, and I think that was just, they had some sort of like guidelines or announcements about like this. They have a phase 3 cancer treatment. Like, I don't really know a ton about the company. It's mostly just the chart that's interesting, but they have some news come in. There's top line data readouts expected in the second half of this year and 2025 from 3 phase 3 studies, endometrial cancer and myelofibrosis, probably mispronounced that. Yeah, they say they have novel cancer therapies. So these biotech and pharmaceuticals are good to look at in the next few years as these as the LLMs, this new technology is propelling more discoveries and advancements and drugs and medicine. So yeah, that's one of the better looking charts. I didn't really look through all the healthcare, but I just went through some scans, brief ones, and this one's interesting. So a lot of times these biotech or these drug companies, it's sort of like the buy the hype, sell the news. So they'll run up a lot, you know, before the news comes out, and then they'll sell off on the news. And so it looks like it's in the run up stage still. So that's interesting too. That's a good one. Good chart. Yeah, so oh yeah, another one, banned. This one I found they're in the cloud business, so they have I'm not super familiar on the specifics of the company, but they do cloud. So if you see cloud in the company description, it's probably it's gonna be you know, a hot one. So Yeah, it's got this wedge. It's in a little wedge right now. I thought it was. I mean, well, it did a triangle there, pretty much, but it's mostly just a wedge right now. It's in. So it's off of some bullish momentum, and it's holding levels. It's got that. It broke through this level here about in the 15s, 1550. So it's got like a base, a bottom. It's kind of like what I like to see, as I've talked about a lot, these rounding bottom patterns. So it's got some good technicals in the long term here, and we'll see what it does. They got earnings in like a month, so I was thinking of buying some calls for those earnings because they've done some pretty decent reports lately. Actually, well, no, looks like they just had earnings. I must be wrong on that, but yeah, their stock reacted well off of their earnings there. It looks like they posted earnings in February, so there might be some good stuff going on there. It's a small company. It's like a really small company, pretty small cap. So yeah, that's it. I covered a lot there, and looks like we got most of it in there. So I'll catch you in the next one.